bottom left.
G'day everybody. Today I bring you what we've been up to this week. We've been carrying on from trying to capture footage of a bullet travelling out at extreme long range just before it hits target. For those who don't know, we had a video where we're on our 4K video where we're hitting the target, or got a hit on target out at 4 kilometres. One of those frames actually had footage of the bullet just flying through the air just before it hit the target. It was interesting to see how the bullet was flying, and it brought up the thought of, okay, I'd like to try and do that, like try and see if we can achieve some of that footage. Checked your other footage, found that really the GoPro can't do that, and it was really pure chance and some interesting features that caused that to happen, not really in a repeatable form. So then we did some research on what it would take, did some maths and did some research on what it would take to capture reasonable footage. Now, we're not in the position to spend even $10,000 on a camera to be able to get some interesting footage. Maybe there'll be other people interested and we could go and get better, proper cameras later on, but and really you're in the world of probably $50,000 to $100,000 for the absolute ideal stuff to do this sort of capture or actual video, to try and get to where you could actually see the bullet rotating as well as its attitude and all the rest of it. But really what we came down to is trying to get something that had 1,000 frames per second, was going to give us 4 or 5 frames of the bullet travelling through the air. So with that in mind, we went through a process where I set things up to create that. The first shot was going to be this 308 shooting out 2,000 yards. So it's also, we've recently this week had a cyclone, or the aftermath of a cyclone, come through, so it's lots of rain and things. I didn't want to try out at the 4,000 yards or 3,500 yards where it was, going a bit closer with at 2,000 and use the 308. That's going to be back down around the 700 feet per second, so that makes it achievable. What I found, and I put together a system essentially. What I used was this, this is actually a target system that for actually giving a flash off when you hit the target. Has a little sensor that goes, which is actually a camera system, but to run remote flashes. But it has a little system that senses the vibration of the bullet hitting the target, this little unit here. And it goes into this little system here that was made to take that radio waves, or the radio signal from this thing, and let it go off. That fires this LED, so you can actually see it from your shooting position. So this is what I used. I put another piece into this, which is a modified remote for a little camera. That meant that with a bit of timing, it's called end frame timing, so with a bit of timing when it hits, it then goes and records a second before the hit and a second after the hit. So it records through that 2 seconds at 1,000 frames per second. So in theory we're in a good place. I found this little camera, not too expensive. It's a little Sony RX100, pretty good little cameras in all sorts of ways, 1,000 frames per second. So I thought we're on to that. Well, we went out and had that shoot, and this video is basically going through and showing what we did there. What's happening?
I'm just doing a proper zoom. Okay, good to go.
That was close. We'll do this 5 and then I'll go into target.
Rightio. Right, just level with the target legs at the base, and one and a quarter targets right.
Yeah, that's about where I held.
Cool.
That's about on my crosshair.
Yep, that's good.
Okay, so one more, see if we can get about the same flow.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. It was a little bit higher, wasn't it?
Yeah, level with the bottom edge of target. 1.5 targets right.
Okay, in theory. In theory. Over onto target.
Okay. must
over
be
top.
over top. It was dust directly behind
I
target.
held up a little bit more,
Okay.
trying to be sure about things.
Yeah. Left and low, there was dust.
Couldn't see it?
No. So it looked like it was sort of the left-hand bottom corner of the target. There was dust. Gonna bring my scope in.
Oh, low.
Low, ricochet. Did you want to wait?
What for?
Camera to
Oh,
reset.
the ricochet, was it?
Yes, it was. It's on target.
Damn it.
Yep, but there was dust. So you've got 1 inch from the left edge at 8 o'clock.
That should be enough. Let's see. I don't know what the wind's done now, but let's see what we got.
Okay, ready. Right and tall. Half target right, half target tall.
I'm going to leave them tall. I need to just drop it down, don't I? I don't want it to ricochet on.
Yeah, true. Tall, 12 o'clock, quarter target high.
Yeah, tall, and I'll lower it just enough and it'll ricochet.
Yeah. Left and low. Level with the left edge of target, half target low.
I think we had a fair bit of forward wind and then
Yeah.
it's just then it backs off
Yeah.
more than we're getting left and right wind.
Left, just off the left edge, 10 o'clock. Just off. Oh, just off top left corner. Nine o'clock, just off left edge.
Okay, so wind's very backing off a little bit.
Yeah, I was
I'm
going to say.
sneaking to the right.
It is varying a bit, it's going up and down a little bit, the wind. Top left corner, just off.
Oh, come on. Stop moving to the right. Back to 19 minutes.
Okay,
Now we'll go left, mate. Now we'll go
we'll see.
right.
Hit, bottom target, 5 o'clock, just off the bottom edge.
That was a hit or a ricochet?
Didn't see any dust. And the camera went off.
Yeah, saw the camera. So we're waiting again. We'll do one more.
Okay, mate. bottom right, just off bottom right corner, dust.
This is getting a bit complicated.
Yeah. Head on plate. Just off the middle. I didn't see it flash.
It didn't flash.
No. It's like 10 o'clock. 4 inches left edge.
Might have gone flat.
Okay.
Or that did not see. I suppose it might have been a rogue bullet that did something weird.
I think actually that when I said did not see, that was top left, like in the crop, a tiny something, but I wasn't sure, so I said did not see.
Okay. Oh, well, I know we'll shot these last. Finish this little lot off.
Okay. Just over top, 12 o'clock, dust.
Verify. Maybe it's gone flat. It should have gone flat, but
Yeah.
maybe something's gone flat. Or maybe the thing's fallen off the back of it.
Doesn't seem to have changed over on the left there. Hit on plate, didn't see a flash.
Okay.
So the thing on the ground is probably the,
The black thing, it fell off.
yeah.
Okay. Oh well, hopefully got what we got.
Yeah, cool.
That's what happened. The Velcro came off the back of it.
Yep, so that's the black thing on.
Okay, well here we are at target. Yeah, there was definitely a ricochet the first one, and those other three are definite hits, so
Yeah.
hopefully we recorded that.
Okay.
We'll do this step by step. I'll verify that range to start off with. Here it is there, come around to where you can see that.
What do we got there? 1988 yards.
And 1988 yards is our actual distance here. So just under 2,000. The thing that fell off, we could see that underneath here. If you look here, this is actually the unit that was Velcroed to the back, and obviously on the first couple of hits it shook it free. It is old Velcro. This stuff on the back here's been here for a little while, maybe didn't wriggle it in, but it does have a proper mount, which I'll build up a proper little frame so I can bolt something to there so it actually bolts to the target, so that never happens again. But that's good, that worked. Over here, well, we have our normal GoPro behind its stand, and then I have this very makeshift little system over here, which involves a little Sony camera, which can take 1,000 frames per second. It has what called end frame or end start or something like that, so you can program it where it actually records. I just thought we'd show you, just on cleanup, we found a couple of the cases, or the actual jackets, and you can certainly see evidence of the yaw there, that they would have been travelling nose up. Well, that's what I suspect anyway. I suppose that's all I can say as a suspicion, but rather than being that straight impact that then peels out very evenly, so you end up with the butt of the bullet sitting fairly straight, these are really leaning over a long way. So I suspect we're going to see a bullet travelling with the big yaw on it, and like I said, I have logic to go with that, but we'll prove everything before I go open my mouth too wide. But yeah, those hopefully, well, those certainly do say what I suggest, or what I'm suspecting, and hopefully that camera, we looked at the footage, we can see, can't quite make out the bullet on the little tiny lens, on the little tiny screen. Well, as you can see there, we had a couple of failures. One was this little remote, as it came to me, had some Velcro on it. The Velcro has been there a little while, the stuff on the back of target's been out doing other things as well, and it's probably just a little bit weak. But really what I should do, the obvious thing, it has the little saddle for like a flash mount on top of a camera. I'll put that little, I'll make a solid little mount to actually bolt to the back of the target so it can't fall off again. But that Velcro fell off. So that was our first problem, easy to fix for making a proper saddle. The second problem was this footage here. And as you can see in this footage, you can see the 4 or 5 frames that have the bullet travelling in it. If I show you this still shot, so you can actually see what's going on, you can see the bullet is about 6 inches long. Now the bullet isn't 6 inches long. What simply means, and when I followed through and did the rest of the maths, which I should have done originally, the bullet is travelling at around 700 kilometres an hour, and what I need to actually shorten that down, I need a shutter speed of, not the maximum of this camera from what I can see is 1/32 thousandths of a second is how fast its shutter speed. I need something in at least the 100 thousandths of shutter speed, and probably, you know, ideally 1/1,000,000th shutter speed to try and capture that image of the bullet. And realistically, I didn't do my maths properly and think about the whole equation. A little bit confused, or not so much confused, a little bit tricked by the fact the GoPro did it at all. And like I said, it's really some interesting circumstances. I think of lining up shutter speed with frames per second, and those two closed up the actual exposure, but I don't know, and maybe a camera tech could tell me. Doesn't really matter. It moves into well, a couple of things. I'd go from there. One is what I'm actually up to, these bullets over here, where I'm actually, as you can see, that on this end is the 175 grain in the burger in the 308, which is what I'm testing with, and I want to see what attitude that's flying with it hits target. I have previous evidence of this, or it might have been the Sierra Match King, but travelling with yaw. I have evidence of a hole through a target, but I don't have anything more than that. The next I'd like to try, once I actually see how that's travelling, then I'd like to try these two bullets. One's the 7mm, either way, the 195 grain extreme outer limits burger, and the other one is the 230 grains target hybrid, which is a 30 cal. I want to try those. I was actually shooting those the other week at 3,850 yards, so somewhere between 2 miles and that 3,850, we should be able to get on target, and we can set up a camera system to work there as well. And then all those similar bullets are a lot longer in profile, and we'll see if there's differences when they've both slowed down to that speed. So that's what I'm up to on that score. But I suppose this also brings into a point of where we've done a couple other things as well. We've actually got a drone, which we are going to start to introduce some footage with that there. And what I'd say for where we're starting to head, and trying to make our videos more interesting with more bits and pieces in them, is let us know what you think. Let us know if you'd like to see this sort of stuff. We're not planning on changing our channel in the way of taking away the stuff that we already have from you know, extreme long range shots, from a bit of putting forward how we do things, from a bit of logic of what we understand and trying to explain things, and a little bit about not so much gun reviews, but going over how I like to make things work and how things work for us. But we'd like to put in a little bit more of this sort of stuff and follow down that road, do that bullet research. The drone side of things is to show a little bit better what is going on, where you can actually see rather than just zooming in. We can actually fly over and show you that sort of property, that sort of the actual terrain of where the bullet's going across. If you'd like to see it, let us know. If you wouldn't like to see it, stay what you're doing, change what you're doing, let us know. We'd like the opinion on that side of things. And I suppose the other side of things that we're really leading into is a lot of time, a lot of effort, very happy to do it, that sort of stuff, fair bit of money. We work pretty hard at our workshop trying to make all that happen. The support we have got is awesome. There is a little bit that's come in, thank you very much. If you are capable of giving support and would like to see this sort of stuff, it would be awesome to get some more support. We would like to create more of a channel, we'd like to do this. It doesn't earn in other forms. So it would be awesome if there is more support, that side of things. For those who would like to support us, you can go to our website, you can go to our Shopify store. There's easily a link below here, which is the 40W support. On there we have various choices from a quarter bit to a full bit, and larger, to essentially for those who want to really help us out a lot. Keep in mind, they are not subscriptions, they're not every month or any other sort of stuff. That's one-off. Whether it's for people who want to do it once a month, you're welcome to, but really it's a once every so often, once a year, whatever you want to do. And as I said, any bit you can help on that sort of stuff really helps us. We really would like to make this channel into something better and better. It does involve some of the equipment, it does involve a fair bit of expense of where we're heading. And we think it's a nice thing. It's nice and interesting what we're up to, learning stuff, and hopefully other people are able to learn stuff, or at least interesting to view anyway. So let us know, like I said in the comments, if you can help us out, it would be great. We'd love to see it. We have got, for the people who are giving the support, there are stickers, there are patches. We're coming up with t-shirts shortly, but like I said, any support would be very, 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 very helpful. And of course, all the people who subscribed, liked us, and all that side of things, thank you very much as well. Back to the actual video we're on with. The 308 here, it performed very, very well. It did all the things as we could ask of it. It is just a boring old 308 in a lot of people's opinion. The 308 isn't that good. I find them a really nice round. They work really well. I have great success with them. This was a straight dial in. We've shot it out there a few times, but with all the weather and all the rest of it, I dialed in I was going to need 145 minutes, and with 105 minutes of dial, 40 minutes of hold, we were only 1 minute high on our first shot, and ended up using that for our shots. My wind call, it's always hard in the long staff. I was about 3 minutes out on my first shot, so we ended up with 145 minutes of elevation and 19 minutes of wind I was actually shooting with. And as you'll see, if you look at that footage, very consistent, on the target, close to the target, very regularly. We went through rounds getting on there, but still 4 hits on plate. And we realised after the second hit that it was not, that it hadn't fired. I thought we'd back it up anyway. You know, we got to it, it was all in the groove. The wind had stopped messing around, and really there was, out of the last 4 shots, there were 2 hits and 2 near misses. So, you know, it was really working really consistently. Anyway, see what we can do there. Let us know what you think. Thanks for checking us out, and we'll catch you next time.